What's going on, Oregon fans? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Ducks Dish podcast. I'm your host, Max Torres with ScoopDuck on 3, coming to you guys with a big episode of the podcast. Got a very special guest joining me today as I am joined by 2025 Duncanville, Texas wide receiver and Oregon commit, Dakorien Moore. Dakorien, how we doing, man? Thanks for being here.
Everything going good, It's going to be football season. Everybody getting locked in, getting loaded. Pass starting to go on. Everything going good right now.
Very cool. Very cool. I know you've already started, I think you've already started school out there in the Dallas area. So football is obviously not too far off. I want to get into the Ducks and your recruitment as well, but I know you've talked a whole lot about that. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's just start off, Dakorien. Tell me what it's been like at Duncanville Practice and some of your thoughts on this year's team.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised seeing how much talent we actually had on our team. After seeing, all the players that we lost that left and went to college and stuff like that. Most of our team last year was kind of older guys. So I mean, after seeing that, I was kind of shaky. I didn't know, if we was gonna be able to bounce back, but I still had faith at the same time because every year after pass, I mean, Sam gonna make sure we got a good team on his hands. But yeah, practice been going real good, real competitive. A lot of plays being made on both sides of the ball. So I'm looking forward to this season.
And what are some of your own goals for this year, whether it's as a team with the Panthers or for yourself? Because I mean, you've done some crazy stuff on the field already, but I imagine you're not satisfied.
Most definitely not. Obviously, I wanted to go 4 times winning that state championship, but we couldn't do it my freshman year. But 3 is now the goal. I'm trying to win 3, man, make it 3. However we got to do it, however it's gonna happen. I just want 3. But obviously, as a receiver, I'm gonna want the ball a lot. So state championship game, I don't always go off like regular games during the season, but I still play a good little part in the win. So this year, I kind of want to step that game up because I got this high horse that everybody kind of like rooting me up and stuff like that. So I want to really go out there in that state game and show why I'm not number one receiver. Um, on top of that, we got a good wide receiver core. I would say the best wide receiver core in the nation. And we got younger guys in our receiver core, so that really tells you something. But just the plays that I've been seeing us make at practice, the attitude and the mindset that I know, my team got, I'm positive that they're gonna go out there and show everybody who they are and make a name for themselves. So that's really one of my goals, just making sure that they go out there and make plays for themselves and put their name out there and stuff like that, so they can set themselves up good in the future.
You definitely want to go out on a high note with a bang as a
Yep.
senior, and you talked to Corian about just how much talent there is at Duncanville. Obviously, Texas is one of the most talented states in the entire country.
Right.
But just take us into the Duncanville program, Decorian, because we can only see so much on the surface. What is it that makes Duncanville special and sets them apart?
I would say just having high class athletes, walking around the whole building, not just knowing that it's just football, just basketball or track or soccer. We got all types of high athletes, just walking around the school building, and we all just pretend like it's nothing. We just walk around like everybody cool. We don't play sports. We just walk around like actual students.
Yeah, you just go about your business and
Yeah.
show up when it matters. I know that you're also a world class sprinter, and that's been fun to watch as well. Just kind of covering you as an Oregon commit. That's something that comes up as well, obviously with track. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the wide receiver position because you told me just now that you wanted to go out there and show why you're the number one wide receiver in the country. Let's
Right.
just start at the basics. What exactly is it, Decorian, that is your favorite part or that you love about playing wide receiver?
The favorite thing I love is being able to make a DB have to predict what I'm doing. Obviously during training and stuff like that, my goal is to create new moves, create separation, and obviously catch the football and go. So I mean, just being able to do that and make a DB think and make highlight plays and all that is just all fun when you out there on the island.
All right, we're rolling once again. We had a little bit of technical issues, but I think we're all right now. But talking with Oregon wide receiver commit Dakorien Moore out of Duncanville, Texas. Dakorien, we talked a little bit about why you like playing wide receiver. You're obviously really fun to watch on tape, but is there a wide receiver that you like to model your game after, or just anything like that you like to watch? Tell us a little bit about that.
A wide receiver, I would say I model myself after. It's nobody, in specific. Honestly, I would say I take a couple things from a lot of different receivers. A lot of moves, a lot of releases, a lot of secondary releases. It's a lot of everything. So I wouldn't say I model my game after, just specifically anybody. Growing up as a wide receiver, I did try to model my game a little, after OBJ, who was obviously my favorite wide receiver. Just his style of play, the way he moved, just the way he played ball, I was just in love with it. So I told him he was my favorite receiver and stuff like that. And everything he do, I tried to model it and do it better. But right now, I would say it's a little bit of a couple receivers because I watch almost every receiver in the league.
Okay. Yeah, OBJ is certainly a classic. I mean, when I was in high school, he was like the talk of the NFL when he made that catch was something that kind of shot him into fame, of course.
Yeah.
But before we talk about the recruiting process, Dakorien, I wanted to have the chance to just learn a little bit more about you. Everyone sees the plays that you make, that they see all the photo shoots from these visits and everything. But tell us a bit about Dakorien the person. Who's Dakorien off the field? What do people need to know about you?
Dakorien off the field is a regular son, to be honest. Um, I don't really do too much off the field. I'm in the house most of the time. I might be out with teammates, because the teammates that I have now, I've been through middle school with, so we real close. We might go out, hang out a little bit, but other than that, I'm really in the house. To be honest, around my brothers, around family. I'm a family type person.
Okay, so it seems like you like to kind of keep it low key and just hang
Yeah.
out with the people in your circle. This is one that I've heard some other people ask, not you specifically, but just in general. If you weren't playing football, if you weren't a world class athlete, Dakorien, what do you think you would be doing? What else maybe interests you outside of sports?
Outside of sports, as a job, um, I don't know. I would probably be in some type of business. That's kind of my backup plan. Some type of business, some type of real estate, um, something obviously making a lot of money.
Sure.
But yeah, outside of sports, I mean, I don't really know. I like to skate a little bit, so during free time and when I don't have anything to do, I might go skate, so something like that. But business wise, for a job, I would say something around there.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, maybe you could do like a skateboarding business, or there's like tons of design that
Yeah.
goes into skating. I have a skateboard, and I think I'm gonna get a longboard soon, but I can't
Oh
do any tricks or
no, no,
anything.
no, 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 no! I cannot skateboard. I'm talking about roller skating. I
Oh,
cannot skate.
roller skating. Okay.
I will
Okay.
hurt myself if I ever get on a skateboard.
Well, it's good to know your limits because you don't want to be getting hurt out there.
Yeah, I'm still human.
For sure. For sure. All right. Um, okay, so one of the questions that I was thinking about was kind of what you wanted to study in college, but it sounds like maybe you answered a little bit, something in that business field. I know with a lot of athletes, brand development is big, marketing, something in that field maybe would be of interest.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, well, let's talk a bit about recruiting, Dakorien, because you had yourself a heck of a journey. You started off and ended up committed to LSU the first time around, and then chose to reopen things, and it felt like a foregone conclusion. Oh, this guy's going to Texas. He's going to be a Longhorn. But on July 4th, you had your fireworks go off, and it was a whole lot of green, and now you're at Oregon. So just what was the recruiting process like for you to ultimately end at Oregon? I know that's a loaded question, but I'm sure everybody wants to know.
Starting the process off, it was I would say it was fun. Taking all the visits, um, everybody knowing I'm taking all the visits, all the love that they show me when I step on campus. Um, it wasn't really too overwhelming, because the coaches wasn't just reaching out every day or texting me whenever and stuff like that. But as it got deeper, as all the upperclassmen, start going to their schools, and the coaches stop really, trying to recruit them and start recruiting our class, and start getting more and more stressful and overwhelming, and just all of that, because there was a lot of people feeding me information from different schools, and ultimately I had to find myself and just know that it's my decision at the end of the day. It's what I see in the school. It's not the information from other people, because other people just have, opinions about the school. Some of the people who have opinions don't even go to the school. They see it from the outside. They don't know, everything. So I really had to lock in and focus on the main details and stuff like that when I started going on campus, sitting in the meetings, being around the players, talking to the coaches, just everything about it.
Okay, so it was really just about getting the whole picture of the recruiting process, and then
Right.
ultimately making your own decision. So I'll pose this one to you, Dakorien. It was down to Oregon, Texas, and I want to say LSU, but maybe it was more so just Oregon and Texas. What was it about Dan Lanning's program and the Ducks that really put it over the top for you?
I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I'm gonna just say my top four was probably the best top four that I could ever think of. Like, when it came to the schools that was recruiting me, I would say my top four was very valid, and all of them stood a very good chance. It was to a point where I wanted to commit to every school, to be honest. But yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't say it was just Texas and Oregon.
Okay, no, fair
Even
enough.
even though I decommitted from LSU, they still had a fair shot. Like, they had a good chance. Um, I wanted to go there for a long time, but yeah, I would say everybody had a chance. I'm sorry. What was your question? That made me laugh.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm glad that I brought you on because, you obviously it's your recruitment, so you know better than
Yeah,
anybody. So just to set the record straight, it was Oregon, Texas, LSU, and Ohio State.
yeah.
And you were saying that they all had a shot at some point or another, and then of course heading into that final stretch. But the question that I had for you, Dakorien, was just what was it about Oregon, Dan Lanning and the Ducks that really set them apart and made them the school?
Um, the main thing was it's different. Like, that's the number one thing that I see, in that school. Is different. It's no other school in the United States that you can compare to that school. Not the competitiveness, not the environment, not the players, the coaches, nothing. It's a whole difference. Staff wise, they got a totally different staff. It's nobody in the country who can call plays like Coach Stein. Um, Receiver wise, my receiver coach, I don't think it's nobody who can develop me, as good as I seen Coach Adam develop his receivers. Um, Head coach, the head coach is everything. I know a lot of receivers and a lot of players say they, don't really be having a tight relationship with their head coach, stuff like that. But just Coach Landon building a relationship with me, off rip, and keeping that relationship, staying true, staying loyal, and just staying humble through everything, because he even came from the ground up, and I really like how he's motivated, within the players and how he's motivated me, and he hasn't even coached me yet. So I would definitely say it's different. It's different from every other college. Um, Another thing is I compare it to my high school. You know, um, reasons that I came to Duncanville was, I mean, they didn't win no state championship. They wasn't, big on throwing the ball. Um, Not very many, receivers came out of Duncanville, being the best receiver or top athletes, stuff like that. So um, just being able to fight through that type of adversity coming into high school, um, I really want to do that at Oregon and give them a state championship the same way that Duncanville didn't have theirs. I'm sorry, not a state championship. I'm locked in, my bad. Um, a national championship.
Okay. Yeah, a national championship is definitely something that a lot of the recruits for Oregon are targeting, and that's the goal since they haven't been able to do that before, and that would be something that would really take them to the next level.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I could talk your ear off all day, Dakorien, but I know you're a busy guy, so I have one more question that I want to ask you. So people see Oregon, right, and they think of the Nike, the flash, the uniforms, the high powered offenses with Chip Kelly and DeAnthony Thomas in the past, but it seems like Oregon's kind of undertaking this new identity under Dan Lanning. So you know the program incredibly well. That's where we're going to be playing your college ball. What's one part of Oregon football that isn't being discussed enough, that's flying under the radar, or people aren't bringing up enough? What do you think is one of those things that needs more attention, that people should be talking about more?
Um, as a receiver, I focus mainly on receivers. So I feel like Oregon doesn't get its credit for their receiver development. You know, Obviously they ain't had the receiver coach that they have now, so it was different back then. But now that he's there, people don't really realize that he's there. He first year, second year, he's then already put an NFL wideout in the league. You know, he's coached some of the best wide receivers. He just coached three wide receivers to go in the league from Washington. So I feel like they don't really get their credit as wideouts. The development that they have. Um, yeah, that's really what I would say. The wide receiver development. People are going to be shocked with the wide receiver core that they have this year. It might be underrated, and it's gonna pop soon, and they ain't gonna know until they on that run to that national championship.
All right, there you go. That's an awesome answer. I know a lot of people are excited about what the Ducks are going to be able to do this year with the likes of Tez Johnson and Evan
Right.
Stewart, who is another phenomenal player out of the Lone Star State, like
Yep.
yourself. But just as we kind of wind down here, Dakorien, we've hit on a lot of great topics here. But I just want to hand you the mic and just see, anything else that you wanted to talk about. I'm only telling a small part of your story, but anything else you want people to know about Dakorien Moore, the Duncanville Panthers, the Ducks, anything like that?
Um, I'm gonna just say I give a lot of props to my receiver coach and my trainer. Me and my receiver coach at my high school came in at the same time. He was real young, just starting to get coaching, and just be around good receivers, good athletes. That are coachable and humble and stuff like that. So he's definitely grown as a coach, and I see him being able to coach in college or in the league one day if he really wants to. So I would definitely like to thank my coach on that. My trainer, I just want to thank him for taking me in at a young age. Getting me started, getting my recruitment started, putting me on with college coaches, just getting my name out there, stuff like that. And I would just say always stay humble. That's the main thing that has guided me all the way through my recruitment, and staying humble and not letting everything get to my head, and just knowing that I'm still human. I'm not like everybody else, but I'm still human. I can still have some type of downfall at any moment. So just staying true to it and staying grounded.
Awesome. What a great message to end on, Dakorien. Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring you on the show, and just kind of talk about the person that you are, the young man that you are, and some of the
Yeah.
goals that you have. So I'm incredibly grateful for your time. Just to get us out of here, just wanted to take a quick second to share your social media channels. If you want to follow Dakorien, you can follow him on Twitter/X at @the_Corey2X.
That's what my page look like.
What was that?
I said that's what my page look like. It kind of look different from another perspective.
There you go. There you go. So you can follow Dakorien on Twitter over there. And then if you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Dakorien4 Moore. So show him some love and go tap in with him on social media.
Posted, so whoever tap in on the new page, make sure y'all go like and comment on the post.
There you go. There you go. If you guys want to find more of me, you can follow me on any social media platform at mtorresports. Subscribe to the channel, ScoopDuck on 3, and then come see us over at ScoopDuck.com for the best in Oregon football and recruiting. A huge thank you again to Dakorien for coming on, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of the Ducks Dish podcast.